Welcome back. Now, John Sweeney aside, it is not easy to find out what's really going on inside North Korea, possibly the most repressive and reclusive regime on earth. It's not easy for North Koreans to find out anything about the outside world either. But people are managing to catch a glimpse, from foreign soap operas on television to smuggled films on DVD. All this new information, including phones, are prompting the first rumblings of change, as our Asia correspondent John Sparks has been finding out.
It is a formidable barrier, an imposing frontier that few are permitted to cross. On the other side sits North Korea, secretive and largely unknown. But at a border crossing, we found a group who know plenty about the North. South Korean businessmen who work at an industrial estate on the other side of the line. The complex was shut down last week as tensions rose, and as they gathered for news, we asked them for an insight into their North Korean colleagues' lives.
Well, I've never seen well-fed people there. I've never seen them eat, never seen their lunchboxes even. We eat and rest separately.
Still, they are learning about each other.
They can see us in our cars, but they only ride bicycles, so they know there's a difference.
The complex exposes the nation to a dangerous idea, that outsiders live in comfort and plenty. Mr. Sang told me how he offered one North Korean worker a lift after work.
She asked me, whose car is this? In North Korea, only the government has cars. I told her it was my own, and she said, oh, there's such a thing? She now thinks South Koreans are really rich.
By any standard, North Korea is one of the poorest countries on earth, but that's not something people there were aware of. How could they be? Their government has kept them in the shadows for decades. But something really important has happened of late. The North Korean regime is no longer in total control of the message. It's called Autumn Tale, a glamorous soap opera from South Korea. And this vision of the good life is now available in North Korea on DVD. We see a group huddled round the TV, captivated by the drama. But they're taking a risk of prison camp or even execution by watching it. A dog begins to bark nearby. And the house owner says, "Turn it off now. Are you out of your mind?" And there's plenty of material on offer from neighboring China. A recent defector from North Korea told us that DVDs are flooding in. She asked us to keep her identity hidden to ensure the safety of family members still inside.
The videos are distributed around the market. I'd buy one and exchange it for another with a friend. But there's only 1 hour of electricity a day. Sometimes it's in the middle of the night, so we'd leap out of bed to watch the DVDs.
In this totalitarian state, where the details of daily life are decreed, this seems a dramatic change. Mass culture now seeping through the bamboo curtain. 21-year-old Joo Chanyang watched videos in secret, her dreams nurtured by the glamour of the outside world.
I wanted to have long hair, loose like this. I'd been to high school and university, but you're not allowed to have long hair. But frankly, I'd been watching South Korean movies.
Dissatisfaction with the state is fueled by a basic reality. The regime is unable to provide for its people. To survive, they must hustle, trade or steal. But millions go hungry in North Korea. In its latest assessment, the UN said 28% of children were severely malnourished.
After I got married, we didn't have enough money. I realized what real poverty was. So I started selling clothes from China. It was illegal, but it's the only way we could survive.
But Ms. Sun had a secret link with neighboring China. Her sister had recently fled there, and she smuggled her a mobile phone. This new source of information had a powerful effect.
I started to envy my sister's life, and I wondered if I could live like that too. I couldn't talk long, it was too dangerous, but I built up a fantasy about their lives.
It's Sunday morning in Seoul, the South Korean capital, and the public are summoned to church. In a nondescript block, the Reverend Kang Chul-ho ministers to defectors. He is a defector himself, in fact, but he has fewer members in his congregation this year. The regime has made it much harder to flee since its new leader, Kim Jong-un, came to power.
Defectors in the north are making phone calls and feeding information to the north, and Kim Jong-un is afraid. The reason he is threatening the world is to try and unify his people. It has nothing to do with a real war.
The regime's greatest threat, not the bombers and guns perhaps, but the way people live on the other side. It is a powerful draw that can no longer be hidden from North Koreans. And those who take the risk and make it to the south, well, they're unlikely to forget where they've come from.
The air was clean, the countryside lovely, but there was no freedom of expression, thought or travel. Still, I dream of my friends every day. I miss them so much.